On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time, but it is Sunday and it's not normal.
Yeah, it's not normal for us.
It's not normal for us. But we're here.
It's actually Monday morning.
Yeah, it is. It is Monday morning. But we thought about this and then we're like, okay, let's get it over and done with.
Yeah, because I know our people are going to be asking questions and wanting for us to cover it. Guys, I cannot do videos, so we'll just do it as a live stream. And all of you who have not caught up or couldn't catch the live, you'll watch the replay in the morning when you wake up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us. For those who managed to join us, be on the chat right there. And don't forget to hit that like button. Today, I'm going to be covering 3 things, Mr. Anonymous. Or rather, we are going to be covering those 3 things with relation to the Senzo Meyiwa trial and all the other stories that are coming sideways. Ooh, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And
let's cover them then if it's a lot.
There's the first part that we're going to cover is about what happened on Friday. The second part is the Sunday World article. And then the third part is Sifiso Meyiwa and what he has to say.
Okay.
So yeah, starting off with what happened in court on Friday. I know I couldn't go live on Friday, you guys. I even told you. So at the 11th hour, we are here. And hopefully we'll catch up in the morning. So they made them listen to the entire recordings of the 3 court appearances, it seems. But the part of interest is a video clip of accused number 2 informing the court that he did not want the lawyer representing him, Dogozo Dominic Mjiako. Now, this was during an appearance at the Boksburg Magistrate Court in 2021. The audio was terrible, you guys, okay? So I think it is the disc and not the video footage from the SABC, because the one from YouTube does not sound like that at all. And I mean the one from YouTube, I mean the regular court proceedings that we watched or caught up on, right? The ones that were live
But
3
the
years
court one
ago.
is supposed to be clear.
You know, we're just listening to white noise, basically.
How do they write, like, tell me something.
Okay.
Now, on the basis of this, the transcript, isn't it taken from the disc?
It is. The people who write the transcripts have to listen to that white noise.
Ah, God.
I was asking myself a lot of questions as I was listening to that terrible noise. What is happening? And the journalists who were in the court confirmed this. Okay, they confirmed that actually the recording is like that. When I thought it was the SABC, they reported that the sound quality of the recording is bad. It's hard to make anything being said on some parts, and it is the recording, and it was submitted in court like that.
So obviously you expect the transcript to have problems too.
Yeah, the transcript is not gonna be proper.
Because you can expect someone who's typing, I don't care how fast they are.
They literally will have pains in their ears listening to that noise. And they're gonna be in a hurry to finish.
We were supposed to get the SABC.
This one was a mess.
This one, I call.
And are you telling me, guys, that the sound quality is that bad? Because we've seen in this trial, whenever there are issues with the recording machine, they will always make sure that it works fine. They'd even move to another court or stop the court proceedings. So in regional courts, they don't care.
No, it's I don't think this thing is like that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
You think perhaps
I think
speculatively it was tampered with?
There's a monkey hand there.
You think so?
That's my thinking, obviously. I'm entitled to it.
Hi, either way, we'll go through some of the things.
The smiling and my Lord will listen to everything, even when my Lord wanted them to listen only to a few parts.
Yes.
And, my Lord, he listened to all of it.
I was like, So we'll go through some of the things that we picked up in the recordings that are very important, okay? The state said that they had been able to secure the audio recording of the accused first appearance at Boksburg Magistrate Court up until the 5th of March 2021. And the transcripts, they said they were going to be available on Tuesday. So tomorrow there will be no court proceedings. Rather today, my apologies, today there will be no court proceedings because they have to go through the transcripts. So, and they will be made available today, those court transcripts. So Advocate Judge Baloy for the state said that they had agreed with the defense that the audio recording to be played in court on Friday and the matter be adjourned until Monday for transcripts to be made available. But the judge was like, no, since you are going to only make the transcripts available on Monday, it's best Monday we don't sit on Tuesday so that they have enough time to go through the transcripts, right? So Mnisi did not want for the entire audio recording to be played in court. He said he wanted for it to not be disclosed in court and that he thought that they would be under the impression so as to not listen to the entire recording in the court sitting, but rather go through it on their own time, the entire court recordings. And he wanted the matter to be adjourned. However, the judge was not having it and he overruled his objection, saying that it's not a disclosure. He said he asked if those proceedings were not set aside or not by the order of the judge president when he nullified the proceedings before Maumela, and they argued that those proceedings are lawful. He said because in his view that was the oral evidence delivered in court. So the recording got played, and the first
Why
one.
then do they adjourn if they have to listen to the records? Why do they always adjourn? Why can't we also listen to them? I mean, these ones are not different from the ones that they are doing currently. Should apply the same law.
The judge was in agreement with you on that one. He was like, no, you're the ones who brought this up. So
I'm saying the judge, why does the judge allow the adjournment?
which adjournment?
If they have to listen to something, maybe there's an argument that they are not in agreement with from the state side,
record.
judge maybe, and then they adjourn. Then they go listen to that and they come back. It's the same thing that this guy was asking for.
How? Nah, I don't know. For me, same difference. Whether they listen to it with us or not.
No, I'm saying, if you are going to apply that logic of saying that this is a court proceedings, because that's an argument.
Yeah.
There's nothing secretive about it.
Yes.
It can be listened in this manner or whatsoever. That's an argument of a judge. Why do they always have to take 15 minutes to listen to their own records? These are court's records. Their records are also court records.
Maybe it's Akiri Manje now De Novo has just made things.
No, it's not about De Novo. You don't get it.
I don't.
I'm saying to you, all the time when they have to listen to them, maybe to something that they are disagreeing with, when they are sitting there, I mean, when maybe Ngomezulu is raising an objection and saying that is not what was said yesterday, they adjourn for that, to listen to that.
Yes.
And then they come back.
Yes.
These records that came with Baloyi from that regional court are the same records that they are adjourning for when they have to listen to something. Why? And then Nisi is rising and saying that there is no need for us to listen to this thing sitting here in court. Give me this thing so that I can listen and prepare my questions, which I think, in all fairness, it was correct. What did you hear on that thing? Nothing.
I heard nothing.
It was a waste of time.
But I also don't think that he knew that the audio was that bad.
Obviously, they expected something to be not correct or right when they were asking for this. Once Baloyi refuses to actually call the judge and the interpreter, you must know that there's something that's going to happen. I mean, you must expect that.
When they said subpoena the judge. No, my lord. I don't think it will be necessary to subpoena.
And then it comes with this painful note.
The tricks are too many, in my opinion. In my opinion. The recording was being played, and the first one was of the 27th of October 2020. That was the first appearance for all 5 accused. So Baloyi introduced all these 5 accused and read their charges, and he was heard saying that accused number 2, Bongani Gininda, was being represented by Mr. Mjiako. All the other accused were appearing in person. Now, it seemed they did not have legal representations. They were representing themselves at the time. And Magistrate Hans Havenja was heard addressing the other accused on their rights to legal representation. He did tell them that they have a right to appoint a lawyer of their own accord or elect or have a state lawyer represent them. So Havenja addressed each of the accused. Accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube, was heard saying that he will not enter the accused box because he does not know why they are brought to court. Mncube was further heard accusing Gininda of wrongfully implicating them. In his words, and I quote, he said, "Why is Gininda doing this? Is it because we are poor and don't have money?" End quote. So the state advocate, Judge Baloyi, was heard reading these charges, which were murder in relation to what had happened to Senzo, attempted murder. Now, this charge was added due to the bullet that, should I say, grazed or went
Miss
through
Mapopole, yes.
Zandi's foot there. Now, according to the state, she almost passed away from that.
Yeah.
Robbery with aggravating circumstances. The question I now have is, how come this robbery and aggravating circumstance charge was added after Brigadier Gininda's investigation said that it was a contract killing and not a robbery gone wrong? And perhaps it was added because of Kelly's phone that was taken allegedly by the intruders. Another 2 charges were that of possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. So these are a lot of charges. Advocate Baloyi was heard saying that they face Schedule 6 charges and that they should remain in custody. So he didn't want for them to get bailed. He's a prosecutor, remember. So Magistrate Havenja then addressed the accused that they will need to supply exceptional circumstances for their bail application. So the judge asked Baloyi if they had agreed to play all 3 court appearances. Did they not agree only on the first court proceedings that happened on the 27th of October? And Advocate Baloyi said that they received the request after the court adjourned on Thursday that they should get all the court proceedings from the beginning to end. So the representatives for the accused told Advocate Baloyi on Thursday after adjournment that he should actually collect all of the appearances. So that is a relief. Remember how we were worried on the live that we did, the last live, that this thing happened on the 27th of November. And now it seems like they're only asking for the records of the 27th of October.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was worried about that. I was like, what's going to happen now? But it seems like they asked for everything. So on the recording of the 27th of November, which was the second court appearance at the Boksburg Regional Court, that's where Advocate Mshololo came into the picture now. She was representing accused number 5, Sfiso.
Yes.
So accused number 1, 3, and 4 were asked whether they will apply for legal aid, and Advocate Baloyi said that the matter will be moved to the High Court from that day on, and that the indictment was being finalized. And I was expecting that they would move to the High Court of Johannesburg, but somehow they ended up in the High Court of Pretoria. He said that there is still a pending forensic investigation to be completed at the time. He also asked for a postponement to the 5th of March 2021. And Advocate Mshololo made a complaint regarding accused number 5. She said that accused number 5's fingerprints were taken by investigators while he was already at Kalagabusha Correctional Services. So I'm going to guess that these are the fingerprints that they wanted to place at the Spaza house to see if there would be any match with the DNA that Musia and Mhlahlo had collected.
What match?
The ones that they did before we went into trial within a trial. Remember, there was a DNA expert who came in and found no match.
What match? Because
there was no match.
If you are arrested, your fingerprints are on the database. What was the point? That was what Mshololo, I think, he was raising.
Oh, that's what she
What
was
was
asking.
the point of taking these ones? Because these ones, if you take them the way you take them, they can actually be painted in the house.
They can be planted.
Planted there in the house. That was dodgy.
It was dodgy.
Yes.
Because there will be no need. He's already incarcerated, right?
Yes, your fingerprints are there.
The database.
Yes.
So why did they need to follow him all the way in the prison to take the fingerprints from him inside the prison?
That's where the problem started. From there, Mshololo, because he was there, he was supposed to know that I'm not dealing with a normal case.
So Ntanzi requested to address the court in this third appearance, or is it the second appearance? So for me, what caught my attention was when Mjiako said that accused number 2 would like to address the court, but it was not with regards or not pertaining to what was happening in the court. That to me was a red flag.
Well, clearly, Mjiako was not representing, for me, this is according to me, he was not representing Dance.
Okay.
This is what I'm viewing.
Yes.
From what I heard, now that thing disturbed me, because I heard it also on the audio of SABC. It just was sounding like he was alerting the judge that you should not allow this man to speak.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Why would you tell a magistrate that whatever my client wants to say has nothing to do with this matter?
But it had, because this man didn't want to be represented by you. So it was a crucial part, in fact.
I was also asking myself the
right.
same thing. I was asking myself the same. I'm like, is this man, whose lawyer is this man's lawyer? Who is he representing? You know, he moved more like a prosecutor than a lawyer for an accused person. And someone also mentioned on the social media that there's no lawyer that would stop their client from applying for bail or coerce them allegedly to sign a confession when they can make the most money for attempting to prove their innocence. So was Mjiako a bad lawyer, or was he simply working for someone else in order to convince Dadzi to plead guilty?
To find out the truth, we would need to know who called Mjiako. How did they know that Mjiako, by the way? Who suggested that Mjiako, if there was a person who called? Because, I mean, these lawyers, if you are practicing in Joburg, it's hard for people from KZN to actually know you.
And then he somehow ended up in Rustenburg, representing Danzi in the other case. How did that happen?
It's very scary.
Rustenburg has lawyers, does it not? It does.
But Rustenburg doesn't belong to Johannesburg.
It fell under Gauteng. I think they made a change. It used to be under the Northwest. Can you guys correct me, or was it? I don't remember what happened. Something
because
happened.
Because I'm looking at this in a different way. If that was the case, if the jurisdiction was saying that even Baloyi was not supposed to be there.
Was Baloyi in Rustenburg as well?
Where was Baloyi then?
He was in Boksburg.
Boksburg.
And then he moved with the case to High Court in Pretoria.
Okay.
But Baloyi, here's the interesting thing about Advocate Baloyi. He's a state prosecutor at the Pretoria High Court. That's his jurisdiction most of the time.
I guess the same thing
and
that
then
happened.
How did he end up in Boksburg?
The same thing that happened. We cannot even. I mean, they will explain the same way they explained the issue of arresting Tanzi were there and then doing things the way they did. I think it's the same. That's why Sfiso, just to give you, is sort of alleging that these people, they are working hand in hand in what he perceives as crime.
Well, Magistrate Havenja told him that he would need to speak through his lawyer. He was telling Tanzi all of this, that if he wanted to raise an issue, he should speak it through his lawyer. The very same lawyer who says, my client, whatever they want to say in here, has nothing to do with this case or this court. Accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube.
It's more like crime. It's not like these courts are not ready to listen to you. Imagine having your faith in people's hand.
Oh my God.
And then they go there. Maybe they decide, I'm just saying, they just decide maybe to sell you. So you are not supposed to say, no, stop right there. I don't want that person. I don't want you.
We are not supposed
because you chose that person, then you have to die through the sword of that person.
It's very dodgy how Ntanzi's situation was. It needs to be explored because this is...
But it's okay. Let's continue. We're not either way, the cities where whatever that they are using. So let's not waste time on that noise.
Well, accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube, was also heard raising a complaint about the arrest. He was talking in isiZulu. And on the 5th of March 2012, now this is the following year, that is when Tanzi made claims that he didn't want Mjako to represent him. Mjako was not present on that day. Apparently, Mjako on that day had written a letter to withdraw from representing Tanzi. So according to the letter written to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mjako said that Ntanzi had elected to use legal aid, and also there is issues with payment. Therefore, he withdrew as his attorney on
issues
record.
With payment. Who hired this
The
man?
question here is what issues with payment? So Ntanzi did not even pay his lawyer.
Obvious, you would expect that with Ntanzi. He was not working this flamboyant
He did not
job.
pay anything at all. And yet he accompanied him to go make confessions.
I doubt.
Who appointed Mjako? He seems like self-appointed. Like he came out of nowhere. Like, what is going on with this Mjako person? And if he didn't pay him, then who paid Mjako initially? What lawyer just rocks up, represents someone without getting real assurance that they're gonna get paid? What lawyer does that? Or making any arrangements to get paid by the client that they're representing. So Ntanzi was heard shouting that what is being said. He continued in isiZulu. He said, Mjako wanted me to plead guilty to this charge of murder, and that's why he ran away. The court also heard that both accused 1 and 2 raised issues of assault while in custody. They wanted assistance to open a case, but Brigadier Gininda and every other investigative officer on this case came to the court and testified that they never complained. They never said anything about them being assaulted while in custody. So yeah, let's move on, Mr. Anonymous. Let's move on to the hot topic of the day. Or rather, the hot topic that was today.
Okay.
You know, Mr. Anonymous, you got us this paper. Guys, I would like to not take anything out of context, so I'm going to read this paper with you guys today. Longwe, the son of renowned music producer Silo Chico Twala, has been named as the suspect in the death of the late Bafana Bafana Orlando Pirates captain Senzo Meyiwa alongside singer Kelly Khumalo. Sunday World can exclusively disclose that despite months of searching, authorities have not been able to find Longwe at his address. So they're literally saying that they are looking, the police or the authorities are looking for Longwe Twala. They've been looking for him, and after months of searching, they can't locate him at his address. Longwe was implicated alongside with Khumalo on charges of common purpose, conspiracy to commit deleting, and the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Khumalo was Meyiwa's girlfriend at the time of his murder, and Longwe was dating the singer's younger sister Zandile. That we know, that is the information we know so far. So according to an explosive affidavit obtained by Sunday World, Khumalo and Longwe learned that Zandile and Meyiwa were reportedly conducting an affair behind their backs. Now this is new information.
By the way, the heading of this, it says jealous Twala Kelly linked to the murder of Meyiwa, says the top
cop. So the top cop does not have an identity yet.
But and we can always...
They're coming with another theory.
We can always assume there are two top cops that have always sort of maintained that they believe that people who are in their house are the ones that should be standing there. And that is Warrant Officer Makubo, which could be a top cop because I think it's in the same level as this one. Mm-hmm. And then Joyce Butelis. Mm-hmm. We will once understand now when we go to the other story now, who appointed who, because it was not clear, right?
Yes.
Who appointed those two and who appointed Gininda. But wait for it towards the end.
Yeah, okay. So this affidavit, quoting from it, we don't know the person who wrote it. The paper did not disclose the person who wrote this affidavit. But I'm quoting from the affidavit, and it says, and I can also state that at certain times, Senzo told me before he died that Kelly was using her sister to monitor him. He actually told me that Zandi would stay with him in the unit and move with him wherever he went at the instruction of Kelly. He told me he ended up having an affair with Zandi and started sleeping with her behind her sister's back. End quote. So the affidavit deposed by a close friend of Meyiwa, known to Sunday World, reveals this piece of information. In the affidavit, the friend also stated he was informed by Senzo that there were significant problems between Longwe and Senzo, and that Longwe started suspecting he was sleeping with his girlfriend.
Now you get the heading of jealous Twala.
Jealous Twala. Days before Meyiwa was killed, Longwe made several phone calls to Khumalo, according to a police inquiry. Leading investigator in the Meyiwa murder case, Brigadier Bongani Gininda, stunned the country this week when he testified in the trial that one of the 5 men accused of killing Senzo, Moses Bia, made a confession statement on May the 30th of 2020 in which he implicated Khumalo as the person who gave them instructions to do the incident. Gininda went on to say Khumalo had mobile phone linkages with the suspects as well. Colonel Lambertus Steyn. Do you guys remember Colonel Steyn? The cell phone expert. Yes. Of the National Cold Case Investigation Unit, testified before the court last year, stating that Khumalo had spoken with at least 2 of the accused before Meyiwa's death. This week, Gininda also revealed to the court that Khumalo's phone contained a picture of cash in a plastic bag, identical to the one discovered on Mthobisi Ncube's phone. That's one of the accused suspects' phones. That's accused number 3. Remember how they linked accused number 3 and Kelly via this picture that was similar, that had a bag of money in the affidavit that Brigadier Gininda was reading to us. It's his affidavit that he wrote and put together. So he said that additionally, Sunday World can disclose that Longwe's phone contained the identical picture of the money bag. Now they are saying that this similar picture that is linking Kelly Khumalo and accused number 3 was also found on Longwe Twala's phone. So following Meyiwa's death, Khumalo and Longwe supposedly conferred with a Sangoma regarding purification. Well, we've had these Sangoma allegations before, and a court submitted affidavit from the Sangoma and states Khumalo and Zandile conferred with her shortly after Meyiwa's shooting. Furthermore, according to the Sangoma, Khumalo's mother brought Longwe to her a few days later when Twala was purportedly saying that he was being bothered by a deceased person. According to Gininda's testimony, communication records between Khumalo and her sister Zandile from early 2013 showed that she wanted to get rid of Meyiwa. Taking that into account, inference can be drawn that she meant ending him. Gininda testified. So Gininda applied for a warrant of arrest for Khumalo in early November 2020, but the NPA didn't approve it. So Chico rubbished allegations that there was a warrant of arrest for Longwe's arrest. So there's nothing like that, Chico said. Police would have informed me if they wanted my son because they know where he is, he said. So police spokesperson Brigadier Athlenda Mate Yena declined to comment. He declined to comment.
Yeah,
but those are the juices that we got today. That's here.
If you are following this case, you would probably guess the friend. We're just not gonna put the name.
No, we're not gonna put the name here because
on purpose, because there are people who are following this case and they like summaries. We will leave it like that. And I mean, now that you are hearing the issue of the bag being, I mean, the bag with money being seen on allegedly, according to this affidavit on what is it?
It's not the affidavit. It's actually the
investigation. The police investigating.
Yes, there's a similar picture on Longwe's phone as well of the bag of money.
But then
allegedly,
the maintaining of saying that this was not the hit, right? But you could throw something that maybe someone had malicious intentions, and then he went on and maybe pushed this Longwe guy allegedly. If this is anything to go by in this affidavit, he made this Longwe guy to be angry. Hence, some of the questions such as, who did you see was it Tumelo or Mtogo who was asked, who did you see on the 20, when was it, 2028?
The day before the 25th.
The day before.
It was a Saturday, the 25th.
Did you see Longwe? And then they said, no, they didn't see Longwe. So this is where the questions were going. If you didn't understand why they were asking if Longwe was seen. This is where basically the questions were going. I guess these people probably have access to these things. So the questions they were looking for that, to say that during that day, when you saw Longwe, the day before the incident, then that's when Longwe got the news. And then Longwe got angry. Because everything is alleged and everything is just based on our public opinion now. And what we have heard on this case, it has nothing to do with the truth. And that's how it is.
And initially, when I heard this, I thought maybe 375 is this movement.
No.
There's no movement.
The danger of this, if this J50 was to be signed now, is that it will include Kelly, and then, in my own opinion, it will be washing away everything, because I don't see this case going anywhere. It can drag, it can do anything that it wants to do, but it is not going anywhere, in my own opinion. So after this, when this case is finally dismissed, because unlike KZN courts, which we will soon hear that they are very decisive, they will tell you on your face, stop coming here and lying in our court. Get out of here. Don't come with some confession that are fishy here. Get out of here. This thing does not make sense. There are magistrates who do that, allegedly, according to Sifiso Meyiwa. And we will hear the story just now, Emily. I think from this affidavit is self-explanatory. And for those people who have been, you guys are lying, and even here in this comment now, we are reading stuff that is down. People are saying we are lying. People, just subscribe.
I'm taking it from the Sunday World.
Hey, just go subscribe then. Just go subscribe and read it for yourself, because I get it's Namanga today. You guys stop lying. Hey, it's Namanga. We are making these stories. Hey, just go subscribe. Pay the man and go subscribe. Hey, other people.
In summary, what is being said here is that Longwe and Kelly kind of came together and plotted and schemed to have Senzo not be in this world. It's an allegation. We are not saying it's true. We are not saying,
we're just throwing a spin at it and say, what if maybe it happened that someone found out that these people are cheating and got angry and said, hey, let me tell this person, maybe knowing that that person is reckless, is going to act on it. Maybe they acted on it. And that's an allegation, and that is just what we are thinking. We are not saying that is the case. Maybe that's how you could spin it as a hit. Do you understand? That's basically what we are trying to say.
And they are saying that Kelly had instructed Zandi to watch Senzo like a hawk and never leave Senzo's sight. And what ended up happening.
And you heard that in court. It's not the first time you're hearing this. Before Dinovo, you heard that from Titi when he was questioning.
Oh, Titi Tobani. Oh, yes. He did question this element of things when he asked if Zandi and Senzo had
an affair, and then he was called out. It was like, hey, well,
people were angry.
How can you say, hey, yes.
Yes, so they're saying that Zandi was instructed to keep an eye on Senzo, but then what ended up happening is that they laid in the sheets together. Allegedly.
They ended up happening, yes.
Allegedly. And then what ended up happening is that Kelly found out and Longo also found out, and then they decided to... Well, they are saying that Longwe called Kelly a lot before the incident happened. And
we've heard that also in the case.
Yes.
Yes, when on Dinovo.
Well, before they started with the Dinovo, that Longwe was calling Kelly a lot. And then what ended up happening was that Kelly's the one who did the contact with the Nkabis. And then...
So basically, what this is saying is that if this was to be anything but the truth, this affidavit, I mean, which you look at it, what's the point of this person coming here and lying? And you have to ask that question, what does this person have to benefit this friend
from? Yes.
Okay, if this was the truth, then we'll have to cut off that thing that there was a call between Kelly and Gabis. And we will have to regard that thing as a lie and a fabricated information. But I'm not saying this just because I'm saying it. Listen from Senzo's brother, what he's going to say.
Okay, let me quickly move on to to Sifiso Meyiwa's interview, because it was the most explosive one. It was the one that had a little bit more news and more inside information that I feel like you guys should be clued up on, okay? He disagrees with this theory that was placed on Sunday World, after the damning allegations were made against Khumalo regarding her involvement in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, okay? And he has come out guns blazing and accusing the lead investigator, that's Brigadier Gininda, of being a liar and corrupt.
No one is safe from that guy. He's saying everything, and we are going to make sure that we bring what he said exactly as it is, not lie, as people say when they wake up from the sleeping.
Honey,
and then they're like, oh, you guys are lying.
Time coming here and lying to the valued community that is ours, reality. Why would I do that?
But I say you guys are lying. So we made sure that we bring it as it is, as if we predicted that there's going to be one person who just had amnesia, had a problem of sleeping. What do you call that sickness?
Insomnia.
And then they're like, you guys are lying. They woke up, it's like they were dreaming.
I have too much respect from Zanzi reality.
Yeah, here we give quality. But let's continue. It's pointless to talk to people who are new.
So this comes after investigating officer Brigadier Gininda testified that two of the accused, Muzaukalelo Sibi and Bongani Gininda, implicated Khumalo as the one who ordered them to end Senzo's life. Gininda was testifying last Wednesday in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria during a trial within a trial to determine the admissibility of alleged confessions made by Sibi and Gininda. Speaking during an exclusive interview with ENCA, Sifiso Meyiwa dismissed the alleged confessions and accused Gininda of fabricating Dagabao, everything to protect his own interests. Sfiso said, and I quote, "I will keep on saying this until it's proven because we've got evidence. I know Gininda is lying. This is how he operates. Most people don't know Brigadier Gininda. I know him. I've followed his cases. He's lying. Kelly didn't hire hitmen to kill Senzo." He further said, "I will keep saying this. The person who killed Senzo was in the house, but that person is being protected." Despite evidence being led in court linking Khumalo to some of the murder accused, Sfiso said he still doesn't believe that she was involved. Instead, he accused Gininda of planting evidence and manipulating the case. He said that Gininda is dangerous and that he knows how he operates. And I quote, "I know how Gininda operates. That man is very dangerous and manipulative. He can easily capture your brain." Sfiso told the broadcaster that he's worked in a police station for over 20 years.
Need we say more? Should we? I'm saying this because if what Sfiso is saying is true, indeed, like any pastor, there are people who are sold. I mean, then that's a big if. On the basis of proper English, people were sold by the explanation. And I'm not saying it's true or not true, but all I'm saying is that what he just explained now, and if it's what he's saying is really the truth, then he's right because people were sold. But that is if. That's a big if. We're not saying that is the case.
Yeah. So far, people are believing that the 5 accused are the right people that are there. And it's funny how they've implicated and they're saying cell phone contact. Okay, this new evidence he brought into the affidavit of the cell phone pictures with the bags of money that were linked to accused number 3, Kelly, and now we are hearing Longo also had the same or similar photo in his phone. How come that was not presented whilst the cell phone linkages were being testified upon? That's the question I have.
But that is if this thing is true. But look at it this way. And I want you to understand this part. There was a connection between Kelly and Longwe through their sister.
Yes.
They probably would share, maybe, if they were chatting on WhatsApp, stuff. Hey, look at this money and all that. I'm just making you. I'm trying to. I'm just saying. I think. Okay. I don't think Longwe Twala would not have Kelly's number at the time. All right.
She's the sister, so yes. I can see it happening that she has her
numbers. In case you don't find your girlfriend, then you call the sister. So, whoever, if this thing was manipulated and these guys were really given this case because they just felt like you guys in any case are saving lives, some of you, whoever did it would actually say, oh, let me check on Long. Oh, you guys, you have a picture of a bag. Actually, a bag could be regarded as a payment. Let me take this picture and put it here. That's why I have a problem with this thing of accessing people's phone as a police, because you are a police. You are not. It's not like when you are a police now you are allergic to crime. We've seen many police, some of them taking bribes and all. If you just drive, you've seen people taking bribes. It doesn't make you a Jesus who doesn't like crime, who wants to do the right thing. So if you have access to my phone, if you have access to my phone, and you're saying you are accessing that because you want to extract data, you cannot extract data if my phone is. If you can extract data, that means you can insert data also. There's nothing that is stopping you. If whatever software that you are using allows you to extract data, that very same software, it must be capable of inserting the information on my phone. So that is where I have a problem with this thing.
He said, and I quote, this is after the broadcaster, he told the broadcaster, ENCA, that he's worked in a police station for over 20 years and he has seen how hitmen operate. And the scene where Senzo died doesn't look like a work of a professional hitman.
No.
He said, and I quote, there's no hitman who uses one bullet to kill their target.
I've said that.
I've seen cases where hitmen unalived people. No hitman comes in the house and then uses one bullet to kill the target, especially if he has been paid. Even if you look at the accused, they are hitmen with previous cases, and if they go to a place, no one will be left alive. Even kids are unalived. He said that there is no hitman who can enter and leave so much evidence behind.
And perhaps it will be fruitful, Emil, but I cannot say it here. I would just reserve it, remind me, so that I can say it, because I know that here we also have students who are taking notes so that they can do their summaries. So I will tell you when this is done, so that people understand what Sfiso is saying.
Yes.
So what this man is saying is what we've been crying about, to say that I've never seen a situation where these people who have been, according to what they are in jail for, have been doing these things
as a profession.
As a profession. They just come and hit you in your chest and rely on that, only that.
And then they run away.
You will eventually succumb to your injuries.
How many witnesses?
And then they leave all these other witnesses like that. Small witnesses. I'm talking about small. When we're saying small, it's like ants. Because, I mean, they could just they leave them. They say, okay, you can push me out. You can do whatever that you want to do. I'm not here for you. I'm here for this man, and I'm not going to hit the head. I'm going to hit the chest. And I'm going to go out.
And they would even be hidden by the sticks, the crutches. And they would just let them go like that.
And that's what Sfiso was basically trying to explain.
You hit an Ingabi with a crutch, and they just fall, and they just leave you alone. Okay, he said they must not play with us. He thinks that we are kids. That's what Sfiso said. Well, he also said that Advocate Baloyi has no intention of solving this case. He knows that Gininda is lying. That's what he's saying. He's saying Advocate Baloyi knows that Gininda is lying, and that Advocate Baloyi lied in court and said that he does not know about CAS 375 while he was given that docket in 2019. He had that docket from around February or March of 2019, and it was with him for almost 6 months, but he lied in court. He said he even knows it. There is so much that I know, he said. It's just too little. They are not the first suspects to make a confession on Senzo's killing. Baloyi knows that as well. It's not only these 5 accused. There are other people who made confessions that they unalived Senzo. Where are they now? Because they wanted to make them confess. One of them was in prison in Pietermaritzburg.
We have talked about that one, right?
Yes.
That case.
And he's not talking about him for the first time either.
The additional part is that that man went to court ready to confess. That's what he's saying. He's saying that man went to court ready to confess. In fact, not ready to confess. He went inside the court and said, "My Lord, I want to confess.
I'm the one who did it. I'm the one who took Senzo's life."
And then the court was like, "Wahaf."
And I quote, he said, "I went to that prison. I won't divulge much, but I went there. That person was turned back by the magistrate when he came to confess that he is the one who shot Senzo. The magistrate told him to leave because he was coming to tell lies. He was with another captain from JP Police Station in Johannesburg." There's a captain in JP Police Station who left and went to KZN to go and have a prisoner go and confess at the magistrate Pietermaritzburg court. This is very dark. And Baloyi knows that. He said he gave that order. If I had my way, Advocate Baloyi should leave this case because he's working with Gininda to do corruption in this case. That's what Sfiso said. When asked that the court heard that there is evidence from Kelly's phone that links the accused to Kelly just after hours following your brother's demise, Sfiso said that the evidence is fabricated. They must tell us which phones were used to get that information because they said Kelly's phone was stolen. Which phone did they get it from? Which is a good question, Mr. Anonymous. It's a good question. Where did they get the phone that they are now pulling data from? Where is that phone?
You're saying he had 4 numbers, but if you carefully listen, they are not saying he had four phones. They are saying he had 4 numbers. So if this, let us just make this, if this was really what we call planned hit. So they planned that we will take your phone, the one that you are using to us. I would assume. Yes. The one that we are busy with, the one that
you are
will have evidence.
With
yes. We'll take that phone and go with it, go hostel, right? Which one now is this one where they are getting information? The business one. So they are saying
mentioned that it was the one for bookings.
Yes. So yes, I'm taking it from there. So Kelly used the business phone for this communication. He left his personal phone. He used the business one. The
That's
one that
what
was
they're
not
saying.
taken.
Yes.
Because
the
this
one that
thing,
wasn't
remember,
taken.
if you say this was not robbery gone wrong, then you are saying this was a planned situation. So you are saying these people, they came in, they didn't steal that phone if that was planned. It was just used as a disguised. Right?
Yes.
So they took the phone that didn't have any information, went with it, and they left a good phone, the one that where evidence can be seen, them talking with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
And how was they able to pull? In fact, in that Colonel Lambarte stain evidence, I don't remember the phone that went missing in Foslaura's hostel being pulled.
No,
I don't remember that.
it was only tracked.
Now, asked that in one of the phones, there was a picture depicting bags of money which was found in Kelly's phone, and also one of the accused, accused number 3, cell phone. Sfiso said that Gininda put that picture there.
Come on, guys. Listen to this. Kelly used plan B to come with a gun as a hitman, changed their mind, stopped Senzo when he wanted to leave, waiting for long, allegedly. I hear what you're saying. But remember here, we're not talking about, and I would say at the time, just a hobo. We're talking about someone who's got money at home. So you just agree when to come and just out of the babs and come and unalive someone. Would you agree to do that? Doesn't make it make sense now. She's not even your girlfriend in any case.
Mm-mm.
The girlfriend is someone else.
Yes, his sister. So he said, Sfiso said this, guys. Ute Gininda put that picture there, okay? The picture of the bags of money. He said Gininda put it there, allegedly. He mustn't lie, he said. He mustn't lie to us. He put those photos of the money there. Is no such thing. Asked about the 3 million rand bribe allegation made by Ntanzi to Brigadier Gininda in court, one of the accused, Ntanzi, through his legal representative, advocate Ngomezulu, said that Gininda offered him 3 million for a confession as long as he placed the right people in the murder. Well, Sfiso said that I've long been saying that because the family told us that Gininda offered them 3 million rands. They even went to one suspect's home to offer his family money. The money even said Gininda was there in person to offer them a bribe. That is how he operates. He buys witnesses to confess and implicates the accused who know nothing to confess. End quote.
Now, one might say, hey, there's no money, there's no one who can give you such money.
It's a lot. 3 million.
What if I say I'll give you that money, and then when you are there, no one, or once you are inside, I mean, in any case, it's not like you will ever come back and say anything to me, because you are there for life.
Does he really?
No, I'm just saying. If I'm looking at all the sides, and obviously this is my hypothesis. If there was such a thing like that, I don't think families. I'm talking about a lot of people would lie about that. It's like, I've seen you, or I've not seen you actually.
And remember also that other interview they did about 2 years ago. They said the same thing.
Yes. They maintain
so
the same
stories
thing
has been consistent
throughout.
So Sfiso said, I will never stop fighting. I will fight until the whole truth is revealed. I'm not fighting only for my family now. I'm fighting for the whole nation because there are many families that are suffering because of Brigadier Gininda. There are families that lost breadwinners. Some of them were police officers. He would take those police and say he wants to do corruption with them. And if they say no, he would then open a case against them and arrest that officer.
Yebo. I'm not going to say much, but in this, I mean, that's what he's saying. But yebo, and you can see the push sometimes with other people. You can tell. I mean, yeah, I mean, you feel good story some but hey, people will fight. I'm not saying that is the case, but hey, it's difficult sometimes
It is.
to separate the truth from the lies. But well, let us hear. And obviously, everything is alleged here.
Brigadier Gininda is working with high-ranking officials, this is what Sfiso said, to do all this corruption. But the time is coming. I pray that God helps us, because these high-ranking officials are not willing to expose his dirty dealings. I just pray God will be with us and bring people that will stop that rot, that people who want to lead and end this corruption, that will do the right thing as opposed to the ones who are currently in charge, he said. Guys, corruption. This is what he's saying. He's alleging all of the corruption and rot that is in the SAPS. But his faith is strong, eh? His faith is strong from this commentary that he was giving. He's strong. He's a strong man. Many people are afraid. Many are afraid. Even I, in that position, I'd be very, very scared. Asked if you say Gininda is corrupt, why are you not reporting him? That is the question he was asked. And Sifiso said that we have reported Gininda on numerous occasions, but nothing happens. There was even a case opened against him on Castrit 75. He and all the people who were in the house are suspects in that case, because Gininda removed a statement that said that Senzo was mistakenly shot. And that's not all, he said. He was also reported to Advocate Batoy. Shamila Batoy. Is it Shamila or Tamila? Batoy.
Shamila Batoy.
Shamila Batoy is the head of prosecutors, right? The head of the NPA in the whole country.
Is that so?
Yes.
In the whole country?
Yes, she's the head of NPA in the entire country. So he said that's not all. He was also reported to Advocate Batoy through Advocate Defo. He says we wrote several emails to her, but she has never responded. Only Dikok responded. We reported his corruption, but nothing has been done about it. How powerful is he, allegedly? He's very powerful. If the head of the NPA cannot do anything. Yo, guys. Then asked, so what would you like to see happening to Gininda? And Sifiso said, I wish to see Gininda being arrested. He must be arrested. Gininda, what you have planted, you will sow. I don't fear anyone. I don't fear you. Even the high-ranking officials you're working with, I am a man of God, he said. I believe in God. We will see who is greater, my God or your bribes.
You see, I hear many people say that why is Sfiso not afraid or something like that?
Yes.
As a firstborn son, what would you do if your father was to pass away through someone's hand or someone's doing? Would you fear? Now, where I'm going with this case can easily be blamed for his father's passing, not only his brother. It can easily be blamed for his mother's sicknesses right now.
Ill health right now.
Yes. So, most likely this man has a bit of nothing to lose now. He probably has lost most important people in his life. And unfortunately in this case, unlike when you see your sister being coerced or being bullied. Unlike when you see your sister being done that way, you can literally go physical and do something. What do you do in a situation where, if maybe, I'm just making obviously a hypothesis, something that is hitting you is really protected, you cannot even get your hand into it. You just watch, like, the only thing you can do is to talk.
Yeah, he's been talking, guys.
If what he's saying is true, the only thing that you can do in this case is to talk. Because it is painful. Nothing can ever be reversed of what occurred in that house, from what occurred in that house, and then you look at what transpired after that. His father, even the father who was helpless, couldn't do anything, and eventually, most probably, or I would say allegedly, succumbed to his ending of life.
They did say that he had died a broken man. There were allegations in the papers around the time of his passing that he was always anxious and worried about the case of his son. You know, it's something that affected his health. And we cannot take away that part. We cannot take it away from them because they were there. They saw everything that was happening. I remember seeing images from the documentary. He looked like he was so deep in thought when they would play those images of him from the news. And every time he would complain about what was happening with the case, he was always in thought. I even remember comments of them saying that he would lock himself in the car and be thinking.
In Senzo's car?
Yes. Thinking and thinking about. So
now that whole, when the father was there, it was a bit better.
Yes, that's
now
why
the father
we
is
hardly
gone.
even saw Sfiso on media or anything like that.
Now the
we
father is
started
gone.
seeing him after the father passed away.
You are left with the mother who's crying all the time. They are reminded about their son and their husband. What would you do?
Not speak. What can you do?
Eventually, you like, either way, if it happens, it happens.
We're all gonna. So he said to Gininda, you use money to buy people to do all this corruption. We will see which is great between your money and my God. All I want to see is Gininda going to jail. I wish that these lawyers and advocate Mshololo can call Warren Afusa Makubo because Makubo has evidence against Gininda. Asked, in your view, this is what they asked him. You say Kelly Khumalo is not the one that ordered the hit, and you say that it is clear that someone is being protected. Who is being protected and why? Sfiso said that since the trial is ongoing, he won't be able to mention the name, but it is someone who was inside the house sitting with them. In due course, they will have to explain why they protected that person. People always say that there is a lot of bribes being paid in this case, and I tell them that no more bribes are being offered now. Those bribes were back then when the investigation started. But now he is protecting himself because he does not want to be arrested on case 375. Gininda is the mastermind. He pushed for these accused to be arrested so that their attention shifts from him. That's what Sfiso said.
Now, that is not us speaking. We're just narrating the story for you.
There's an interview that Sfiso had with ENCA.
Do you understand? Sure. Before that, we narrated the story from Sunday World. And then before that,
the Friday proceedings.
We narrated Friday proceedings. So, yeah. Now, make your own analysis. It's a lot to digest, but some of it you can remember it from the proceedings, de novo, or or even now, some of it. Some of the questions that are raised by Sfiso, they emanate from the situations that are happening now. Talk about the revolver, which was the initial firearm, and then later it was changed to a pistol, and then it was a pistol plus a revolver, but the statements are still talking about the revolver. Even the affidavit that was read by Gininda, yes, indeed, it is talking about the revolver.
Well, they asked him that in 2020, Minister Begicele visited the family or the Meyiwa family and said that the police are convinced that they've got the right suspects in this matter. And he asked, you seem not to buy that story again. And Sfiso said, I don't buy that. I don't buy that story. When this case started, we were one with the minister, and we would even talk on the phone, and he would say, once this case is concluded, you must write the book. I don't even know how Gininda took this case, because Minister Cele had appointed Makubo and Buthelezi. Gininda only came into the picture because he heard that he was going to be arrested. He then came with these fake confessions from the accused. He did not assign himself. He was appointed by the former National Commissioner, Ketla Stole. The minister asked why he was appointed because he hadn't approved that. So here he's saying that Minister Begicele allegedly had not approved Gininda's appointment onto this case.
You remember there was an uneasy tension between allegedly the minister and the commission. There was that thing, I think, on the news,
Yes.
and that the minister it was alleged is putting his hands where he's not supposed to. But now we're hearing that Warrant Officer Makubo and Joyce Buthelezi was initially appointed by Minister Begicele. And then, after all these things that has happened to this case, the stealing of the statement and whatnot, said, no, I want this team to spearhead this. Do it for me. I want to see what is happening. And that is where Sfiso was saying, we were in line when that was happening. Hence, he's even saying that I want Warrant Officer Makubo and Buthelezi to head or to be part of this case, actually to take over this case and be called to testify so that they can expose the current investigator. They are saying somewhere, somehow, someone came, in a sense, in a political term, would say he mushroomed out of nowhere. He mushroomed out of nowhere, and then he became part of the team. And then later on, they were briefed that, hey, Chief, we have taken over this case. So those ones who were reporting to you, as he was saying, that Buthelezi and Makubo would give feedback. They are no more in this case.
And Warrant Officer Makubo had a hectic case against him.
And there was a hectic case against him. I don't want to say anything because
we unpacked this case.
We just unpacked for you. Use your brain.
There's a video, if you look into the video tab about Warrant Officer Makubo, if I knew.
We did talk about Warrant Officer Makubo, what he was feeling.
It was one.
I'm not going to even go there.
Difficult case. That's all I'm going to say for now. It was very difficult to unpack that one. Well, asked.
And then you had what, obvious, this one you probably had de novo, or you had how Joyce Buthelezi was painted by the people who were in the house, how he dealt with them, how he was looking for answers, how she was looking for answers, and the way she was dealing with them, the bad way. And the good one in this case is
Brigadier
one who's heading this case of
he was gentle.
Was very gentle with them,
nice.
And then they were forthcoming, and so now we also made a video about the character of Joyce Buthelezi. How would we expect Buthelezi to do her investigation, and why? Because of what she stands for, because of what she studied. You understand? Psychology. But we cannot
revisit it. And there's an allegation that she took Dumelo to Senzo's grave just to get him to,
And we explained that. So if you haven't watched those videos, obviously you come here and then you start saying a lot of things. But I'm just saying, we are giving you everything. Make your own mind.
Yeah, just make up your own mind. We don't want you to tell you what to think. That would be very wrong and irresponsible of us. Well, they asked to Sfiso that your mother seems to believe the police minister and that these are the right suspects before the court. And the journalist also mentioned, by the way, shout out to him,
very calm.
Love his work. Love it. He says, I know that this matter has divided the family. Some family members are convinced that these people are the right suspects. And Sfiso said they believe it now. The family believes him now, what he's been saying all along. They understand that what I have been saying, they now agree with me, he said.
They're saying at that point they were Gerinel.
Hey, Gerinel. And the sister cousins as well, they are very scarce in court now. We don't see much of them like we used to before. And the last time we saw them, I think they made an appearance just in this couple of weeks, I think once or so. I only saw one of the sisters. I don't remember exactly when, but I think I saw her in court, and then I never saw her again. Perhaps they are starting to see what Sfiso has been trying to say all along. They are seeing it now. And especially after that harsh treatment they got when the trial could not continue, and Maumela's announcement of him being ill, and they were not informed prior. And here we were listening to Gerinel saying that he was representing the family, but how come they didn't know that they didn't need to come to court on that day because Maumela was not going to show up? That those were the kind of nitty-gritties that were happening in between. And I was just asking myself, where's the communication between the family and the prosecution, the prosecutor's team, and the people that are saying these people did it? Why are you not talking to the family? That was my question back then, but I guess everything now is unfolding. Now, he was asked, it's been years since this matter has been ongoing. Do you think your family will ever get closure and find justice at this matter? And Sfiso said that he believes in the God of justice. He said, the God I pray to is undefeated. He will conquer. I trust that God will be with me against those corrupt people who are saving money, who are saving the devil. I'm saving God. My God is greater than those bribes. We will conquer with God. Asked when last did he speak to Kelly Khumalo and if he has spoken to her lately following the latest revelations. And Sfiso said that no, he has never spoken to her. And he said, my older sister used to communicate with her, but ever since Senzo passed on, she never took any of our calls. I don't know why. Perhaps it had to do with all of that drama that was happening as the funeral arrangements were being made. But yeah, it's been long now. Kelly can calm down, okay? I feel like now they can see what is happening. And yeah, I asked if he would like to reach out to her, and if you do, what would you say to her? And he said, Sfiso said that he wishes to tell her that she must speak the truth about what happened there. And he said, I know she didn't kill my brother. I know she would never kill him because she loved him. Even though she knew he had a wife, she loved him. We wish we can have a good relationship with Senzo's daughter. Yeah. Now this part is heavy. It's a heavy one. It's where you wish things were different, but we'll see, only time will tell. Now, asked whether the child has visited them since the passing of Senzo, Sfiso said that the last time they saw Tingo, she was still a baby. She came home with Senzo and Kelly's mother. Now, asked if things remain like this with the trial, after all is said and done, what is Sfiso's wish? What would he like to see happening in the trial? And Sfiso said that my wish is that they call Warrant Officer Makubo and Colonel Buthelezi to come and testify in court and reveal the truth, because there's nothing I'm saying that is not in the docket. I'm not making this up. There are witnesses who made statements. I know everything that on that docket, in fact, both dockets. Asked if he still gets regular updates from the police that are dealing with the matter, or if he is just following the case on national television like the rest of us. Sfiso said, we only receive updates from investigators of case 375. Brigadier Gininda and his team only came once to our home to tell us he's taking over the case. They never updated us ever since. Maybe they realize that we are aware that what they are doing is not justice. They just want to protect someone and also themselves. They are not updating us with anything. Asked about the father passing away before this matter being resolved, and their mom always crying now and then when she talks about this matter, and how is she holding up. And Sfiso said that my mother is very hurt by all of this. She asked us to not even update her about what is happening in court. I mean, it has come to that. I remember even making comments myself. I was like, yo, if I was affected by this case on such a person, I don't think I'd be watching. It's heartbreaking to see all of the shenanigans that have been happening in court. She'll only want to hear the conclusion. That's what Sfiso said. We don't tell about anything about what is happening in the trial. So they're saying that they don't tell her anything that is happening about the trial because she suffers from hypertension and she wants nothing to do with this case. She wants the truth to come out, but she no longer follows this case. She doesn't want it because it raises her blood sugar levels, making her sick. Asked if he still gets support from those who played with Senzo and people generally in South Africa. And Sfiso said yes, he'd like to thank the people of South Africa for the support they have given to them. He said that he gets phone calls and social media messages from strangers supporting them. Some even donate money, and he says he gives that money to their mother. Even on the streets, people stop and tell him that they are with them. And he said, we received a lot of support. Asked if there's anything he would like to share, Sfiso said he doesn't know how they are going to fabricate some of this evidence. Everyone who was inside the house said that the intruders that came in were carrying a revolver. But Gininda and the ballistic expert, Mangena, say it's not a revolver. Gininda says it's a 9mm gun, and he said, I don't know how they will change that because all the witness statements said that it is a revolver. Even his affidavit that he read in court talks about a revolver. How are they going to change it? That I don't know. Even the statement says it was a revolver. I also heard the evidence of accused number 2, Bongani Gininda. He said, I was there in court on the 27th of October 2020 when he pointed at the lawyer Mjiako and said he doesn't want him to represent him. He stood up and told the court that the lawyer wanted him to plead guilty and he didn't want him. Asked if he will be going back to court to attend the proceedings depending on his work schedule, Sfiso said that yes, he will attend the court. And asked the journalist asked that some say that this case was messed up and fumbled from the very beginning, and Sfiso said they are telling the truth. Sergeant Musia revealed that no phone was taken during the robbery. Well, it was not actually Sergeant Musia. Let me put it for people who may take him out of context. Remember the time Sergeant Musia was recalled and he came back and they went through all of the evidence or everything that he had taken, every single picture. He had to now bring even the pictures that he had not initially brought as exhibits. They had to withdraw, I think, from the card itself of the camera and all the pictures that came up. Amongst those pictures, there was a picture of a Samsung phone that was very similar to that of Kelly Khumalo's on the table in the house as Musia was working. The one that was alleged to have been going to the hostel, a Samsung J50 or something like that.
Yes.
So that's what Sfiso is talking about here. And he's saying it's not true that a phone was taken and later tracked. And at the hostel where the suspect stays, it's all lies. They're telling absolute lies because they compromised the crime scene. Mapiri cleaned the crime scene. All of that tampering with this crime is not right. Okay? So we can also remember Khumalo finding that picture actually of the Samsung J50 on Musia's record of all the pictures that he took that night. So yeah, guys, that was pretty much it of the interview. It was very, very enlightening. I can never get enough of watching Sifiso Meyiwa because
he speaks from his heart.
We found out a lot of things, and watching the trial after listening to him, because he started speaking 3 years ago, guys. He was talking. We were all like, that's why maybe to us, Mr. Anonymous, this information doesn't seem like, ooh, because Sfiso has been saying the same song for how many years now? And it seems like nobody's listening.
It's been long. Yeah, I mean, I think we have covered almost everything.
Yeah,
and
it was a long one, but thank you, guys. I'm sure now you're updated.
Yeah, and obviously I have to have a young, make sure that I get home and get a young sleep. Because tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay,
Today.
guys, we'll see you later.
Yes.
We'll see you later.
It's a bye from us.
Bye.